Welcome to A Quest for Metal, and today we are doing the second part of the bands I've never heard. So I went back and listened to all those bands, which I said I never heard, which was true. Except for one of them, which turns out I did hear them, I just didn't bloody remember them. But we'll get to that. So first up on the list was I Hate God, with an E-Y-E. I listened to the album Take As Needed for Pain, because that seemed to be the general consensus as one of the best albums by them, and listening to it, it's pretty good. This is one of the bands from the list that I didn't listen to, which is pretty good. Very sludgy, very doomy. It's got that kind of Mastodon-esque edge, but it's a bit different, especially to newer Mastodon, more like older Mastodon. But it's a very sludgy, very cool band, and I would definitely listen to more albums by them. So that is one band from that list which tickled my fancy pretty good. And I know a lot of people said they were probably the least popular band. I mean, because I said popular bands, which I've never heard, and a lot of people on the comments didn't even know they existed, so, you know, it's probably funny that that's one of the best bands on the list, is the one that people didn't know. Who would have funked it? Who would have funked? So next up, I said Converge, and a lot of people shouted at me, it's like, you gotta listen to Jane Doe! Listen to Jane Doe! I listened to Jane Doe, and it was fucking awesome. This was probably the best band on the list. Easily the best band on the list. Converge was easily the best band on the list. Some of the others may trigger, but this one was fucking awesome. Jane Doe was amazing from start to finish. So was Axe to Fall. I loved that one. There was another album I listened to, but I can't remember what it was. There was another one I listened to, but I can't remember. But yeah, Converge, the two albums I listened to, Axe to Fall, Jane Doe, both awesome. I need to go and listen to the new one, because they had one this year. I think it's just one song as well, so that's going to be amazing. Yeah, that hardcore, heavy, crushing, kind of similar to like Code Orange, but a lot more intense. You know, I'm a bit less weird. Just more in-your-face aggressiveness. Loved Converge. One of my favourites, if not my favourite from this entire list, so yeah, big thumbs up for them. Next up was Dillinger Escape Plan, Mathcore, which I fucking hated, and always, it stopped me from listening to them because of Mathcore. And the album I listened to was Calculating Infinity, which is considered a good one by them, and it was okay. I didn't like it as much as Converge. They're both chaotic kind of bands, but in different kind of ballparks. This is more proggy chaotic. Didn't like it as much. If it's gonna be chaos, I want like Black and Death or hardcore. I don't want proggy. You know, too much beepity boopity sounds. It wasn't that good. So I will listen to more albums by them, just in case, you know, I didn't like it because of that album. But for the most part, Dillinger Escape Plan didn't tickle my fancy that much, but it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. It was alright. But I will give it more listens. Next up was Mudvayne, the album I listened to. I can never remember what it's called. ID50, is that how you say it? The classic one which people said to listen to. And at first, I hated it. I was like, this is just new metal. This is just like Korn, Slipknot. I fucking hate it. It's shit. But then, I was like, you know what? This is pretty fun. This is like new metal. This is like Korn and Slipknot. It's pretty fun. So I did get into it, and that album was pretty fun. I would never listen to it again. Like, I don't go back and listen to like Korn and stuff anymore. But for what it was a fun album, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a fun romp. But it's not going on my playlist, you know. Converge will. Converge, I Hate God might. This, it's great, but it's, you know, it's not going on my playlist. But it's still fun. Next was Trapped, because of the whole controversy shit. And I listened to the album Trapped. I felt trapped because it was very boring. I was just run-of-the-mill, generic, rocky metal. Very boring, very dull. Pretty shit. Just like the band itself. Pretty shit. So, yeah, pass. Next up, Volbeat. And the two albums I listened to, Rewind, Replay, Rebound, and Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie. Who came up with those fucking names? But anyway, they were both pretty average. Not my kind of sound. This isn't even metal, this is just rock. sounds like the Foo Fighters. I love the Foo Fighters, but, you know, I'd rather listen to Dillinger, Converge, Mudvayne, to Volbeat. To be honest, like, they didn't really do anything for me. It's just rocky stuff. It's meh. It's meh. It's meh. Next up was Breaking Benjamin. I listened to the album Phobia, and this is the album that I have heard before. I heard it with a friend, and when I made this video, he was like, "We heard that together, you absolute leech." But yeah, apparently I did hear this before, but it didn't leave a very lasting impact because I didn't remember it at all. I remembered one song, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have heard that." So it was fine. It was a fine album, similar to Volbeat, just kind of like run of the mill, just rocky metal, kind of metal you'd listen to growing up. You know, it's fine. I don't hate it. I wouldn't give it a 0. I'm not gonna give it a 10 either, which is rare. What the hell's going on? What's going on? I have 3 rating systems. It's either a 0, it's a 10, or it's a 5. It's either okay, it's great, or it's shit. This is okay. You know, it's okay. Volbeat would probably go in the shit pile. I would not listen to that again. I'd listen to Breaking Benjamin again. So there you go. There's some praise. Next up, My Chemical Romance, and of course I listened to The Black Parade. Of course I did. It was fine. Again, middle of the road, 5. When I was a young boy, yeah, it was weird, but it was kind of catchy. You know, kind of in that Black Veil Brides kind of way, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of cringy, but it's kind of catchy, and I kind of like it. So people hate them for no fucking reason. They hate them because they look weird. But in my opinion, I'd rather listen to both of those bands over Volbeat and Trapped and Breaking Benjamin's okay, but those rock bands, you know, because those are boring. At least these have some spice with them. Yeah, I'm sticking up for My Chemical, and I'm sticking up for Black Veil Brides. Because at least they have some spice with them. Those ones, fuck off out of here. Next up, Asking Alexandria, and I listened to the newest album, which was dog shit, so that's going in the 0 pile. Burn, burn, burn. And then I listened to the very first album by them, which is a lot better. So that can go into the nice pile. Yeah, the new one was just generic. Very generic. The old stuff, pretty good, but again, I wouldn't listen to it, so middle of the road, 5 out of 10. Me. Now we come to the 2 biggest. The 2 biggest, which is going to cause the most controversy. Deftones is first, and I listened to 4 albums by them. I wanted a good grasp of Deftones. First, I listened to White Pony. Yeah, pretty shit. 0. Didn't like it. Hated it, actually. I thought it was awful. It was like one of the worst albums I've ever heard this year. I'd rather listen to My Chemical Romance than listen to that again. Absolute dog shit. Fucking 0. Then I listened to Adrenaline, like, oh, it's going to be heavier, it's going to be good. Even worse. That gets a negative 100. That pile. Then I listened to Diamond Eyes. That was the best album on this list. What's going on? That's going to 10. So, and then I listened to All Around the Fur. That was amazing. That's going to 10. So, I don't know my brain. For some reason, those 2 albums were fantastic. White Pony and Adrenaline were goddamn awful. It just sounded mental. It sounded chaotic. It sounded stupid. Whereas All Around the Fur, which is before White Pony, actually got its hooks into me. And Diamond Eyes is even better. Diamond Eyes is the best Deftones album for me. It's just, I don't know. It sounds nicer. It's nicer to listen to. So I'm going to go and listen to more Deftones albums, and hopefully the newer ones are more like Diamond Eyes. Because Diamond Eyes was bloody great. So yeah, this probably trigger everyone because White Pony is a masterpiece. Masterpiece of shit. That's what I say. It's a masterpiece of shit. So yeah, so mixed feelings on Deftones. Half of it I love, half of it is shit. So let's move on to Van Halen. Van Halen, yeah. Is this going to be a controversial one like Deftones? Nope. This is great. I loved it. I thought it was going to be glammy, you know, like Whitesnake and shit. I was saying it's like that, but it's not. It's different. It's just good old American rock, and the guitar is amazing. I listened to the first album and the second one, ooh, that's amazing. Yeah, the guitar playing is great. This is one of the best albums on the list. Not the best. Diamond Eyes is the best. You know, Diamond Eyes was amazing. So, you know, it's so strange. But Van Halen, amazing guitar, amazing songs, and I don't know why I didn't give him the credit. So yeah, good on you, Van Halen. Good on you. So that's just some of my thoughts on the albums that I went and checked out. You probably don't agree. You're probably screaming at your screen and slamming on the keyboard. How can you hate White Pony? It's the best. But, you know, opinions are opinions. And my opinion is that Diamond Eyes is way better. And All Around the Fur is way better than that pile of manure. So hopefully I triggered all of you. Let me know in the comments below, what albums here do you love? What albums do you hate? What bands here do you love? What bands do you hate? Why is my opinion wrong? Let me know and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.